Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Funganyi. Thank you so much for joining us today. On this episode of Red Carpet, we have a special interview with 17-year-old Nigerian artist Qing Madi. A look at the Maze of Power art exhibit in Paris that portrays African presidents and how hair braiding is gaining popularity among young girls in Mozambique. Let's get on with the show. Named November's Apple Music Up Next artist, 17-year-old Chimamanda Chukuma is said to be one of the most dynamic upcoming artists that represents the future of Afrobeats. Also known by her stage name Qing Madi, the Nigerian artist started off as a professional dancer and transitioned to singing at a very young age. I caught up with her in Atlanta at the Boo Vision Studios, where she was taking a break before embarking on the last leg of her US tour. Qing Madi, thank you so much for joining us on VOA's Red Carpet.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, hi, my name is Chimamanda Chukuma, professionally known as Qing Madi. I'm 17 years old. I'm a singer, songwriter, and dancer from Nigeria.
Okay, Qing Madi, that's a very interesting name. What is behind the name Qing Madi?
Qing Madi is actually parted in two. The King is a title. It's a mix of femininity and independence, and that's how I see myself as an artist. So it's basically a title that comes with the name Madi. And Madi means extremely talented. M-A-D-I means extremely talented. And I feel like that's a proper representation of who I am. And I feel like the name kind of presents itself, and I feel like I have to live up to that name every time I hear it. So
you're about to dominate the industry. So tell us about some of the upcoming projects.
My first EP is going to be coming out this month, and I'm super excited for it because this is like a dream to me, especially because this is like the first time I'm going to be properly putting out a body of work, and this is what people are going to use to like remember me and know me as a person. So the songs are basically me talking. Most of the songs on the project were recorded when I was 14, and we've decided to keep it that way for the originality and for the storytelling, to be precise.
I used to be the life of the party, but all the energy inside of me is drained. And if I die tonight, waiting I get, is it safer outside? I'm outside.
So at 14 years old, you were already writing music of that level.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine 10 years from now, the kind of music you'll be putting out.
I'm excited.
Well, what do you sing about at 14? What kind of music? What was the subject matter that you were?
A lot. I mean, most of it was based on, because I was a bookworm, but only for literature. So I like to read like novels. Yeah. So based on that, I would like read, and whatever storyline I was getting, I would find it fun to write about it. And most times those are what like my songs were based on. So
you're currently touring. Talk to us about the tour.
The tour is exciting. I'm literally being exposed to so much, and I feel so blessed and opportune to even be in this position right now. And the love I've gotten is insane, because every time I'm traveling, I'm like, ain't nobody know me here. But then I get on stage and I'm seeing people vibe to my music. I'm like, okay.
So what is next? What are you about to get into from here?
My project, I'm going to focus more on my upcoming EP. That's the biggest thing right now. That's where my heart is at. That's where my head is at. That's where everything is at right now. My project. Just can't wait for it to be out and for you guys to get to experience such an amazing body of work.
Oh no, I used to be the life of the party, but all the energy inside of me is drained. And if I die tonight, waiting I get, is it safer outside? I'm outside.
The 5th edition of the Musika na Kipaji Festival, or Talented Girl in Swahili, was held recently in Goma. The festival, which brought together numerous female artists from different countries, aims to showcase women's skills in several fields, including music, dance, drawing, and fashion. This year's edition featured artists with messages of peace from the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. VOA Afrique correspondent Zanem Netizaidi has the details.
The atrocities suffered by women in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo as a result of a raging war are upsetting women activists and artists. Sheila, a young artist displaced by the war and now living in Goma, has been focusing on revolutionary music for several months with the sole aim of asserting women's rights and telling the world that her country needs peace.
Peace has disappeared in my country. A large part of Congolese territory is occupied. There are war-displaced people everywhere, and this has an impact on women who are threatened, raped.
This year, along with other young female artists, Sheila participated in the Musica Nakaji Festival, a women's-only festival that highlighted the talent of women. We followed her throughout the festival and before she took to the stage. She was determined to transcend her albinism.
I'm an albino girl, and in the songs I'm going to perform, I'll be talking about peace, about the situation of women, which is chaotic because of the war affecting my country.
The audience fell under the spell of this young artist who left most of them speechless, including Evariste Iragi, a resident of Goma.
I was impressed by the way she sang. She has a beautiful voice. She sang to a reggae, a bit of a complicated rhythm. She launched a message of peace and we were amazed. The young people who were here were moved to action to change this country.
The festival's organizers say that their objective has been achieved. Elisha Abumba, festival director, explains that in addition to showcasing women's artistic skills, the festival is an advocacy tool for women's rights.
Mzika na Kipaji remains a space for advocacy. These are the country's problems, and sharing remains the solution to this problem. You have to revolve people, show the problem, so that everyone gets angry.
The female artists who graced this 5th edition of Musica Nakipaji came from diverse backgrounds, including several towns in the DRC, Zimbabwe, and Burundi. For Zanem Netizaidi in Goma, this is Michelle Joseph, VOA News.
Acclaimed American artist Kehinde Wiley, known for portraying former U.S. President Barack Obama and U.S. pop star Michael Jackson, has turned his brush to Africa. His A Maze of Power exhibit in Paris portrays 11 former and current African presidents exploring power through the lens of historical European portrait painting. Lisa Bryant went to the show and has this report from the French capital in Paris.
The Democratic Republic of Congo's Félix Tshisekedi is a familiar face at home and abroad. But many Congolese might be surprised to see their president here. His portrait is among those of 11 current and former African leaders now on display at Qing Museum in Paris.
I'm trying to look at the African presidency in images, because there is no tradition of it. There is no history surrounding it. The history surrounds Western European cultural hegemony and domination.
On display are former presidents like Nigeria's Olusegun Obasanjo, deposed ones like Guinea's Alpha Condé, and current ones like Ghana's Nana Akufo-Addo. Creating this show took more than a decade. Wiley says he gave the presidents a book of traditional Western portrait paintings to get ideas from or to ignore. The show's title, A Maze of Power, explores a complicated theme.
The maze of power is the maze that's being run by me, the artist, but also by the sitter deciding how they want to be seen, me responding to their set of decisions.
And we are now, it gets used to see this kind of portrait, and they are very amazing, like well done, well painted.
Wiley earned major U.S. fame with his portrait of Barack Obama. This show is arguably more controversial. It's hosted in France at a time when anti-French sentiment is rising in parts of Africa. Some of the leaders he's painted have questionable human rights and democracy records, although the show isn't supposed to be about politics. Wiley is reportedly planning an African tour of his show. The African leaders portrayed have apparently requested private viewings. Lisa Bryant for VOA News, Paris.
In Mozambique, young hair braiders produce wigs and develop innovative braiding models, creating self-employment and generating jobs for other girls. VOA's Amarilis Gule has more from Maputo.
Hair is part of every woman's vanity. Straight, wavy, curly or frizzy, it makes all the difference to their self-esteem. Many Mozambican women have curly hair, but not all of them have long hair. That is why they rely on the use of hair extensions and wigs. And it is why Marcia Nyampale got into the braiding business. After learning the craft from her mother, Nyampale started braiding her clients' hair in her backyard at age 19. Gradually, her work became popular and she created Braids with Miss Beauty.
My mom had a salon and she was always pushing me to learn. That's where my passion for making women look beautiful came from. I decided to invest and learn how to braid. There are many braids that we do nowadays, but African braids are my forte here at the salon.
New variations of braids appear daily, and to keep up with the trends, Nyampale has created baby twists, braids made with synthetic strands that imitate natural curly hair.
First of all, we must value our Africanity, which is curly hair, natural hair. We have locks that represent this and that are very successful in our salon. The baby twists have a natural look, they look like human hair, and a lot of people like it.
Arminda Bauk developed the skill of treating hair and making wigs by watching videos on the internet. She soon decided to turn her hobby into a business. From her backyard, with the help of her team, she produces wigs, extensions, and other styles of products that she sells all over the country.
I realized that I needed to have a source of money to buy my products, and when I got all the products, I started making it for myself. Then people start to like it, and I decided to start charging for this service. And from one moment to the next, I was earning a lot of money, so much so that I now have girls working for me.
Bauk has expanded her business and started giving classes in hair sorting, makeup, and wig production to help other girls who want to become entrepreneurs. She says the Mozambican market is receptive to new braiders.
I think the market is open to new entrepreneurs, so much so that I don't feel like I'm missing out when I teach people. The only thing people want from us entrepreneurs is to do our job very well and to be honest, above all.
Hair braids and braiding is not just a representation of a person's culture and vanity, but it has become a source of income for many young women.
Thank you so much for watching VOA's Red Carpet. I'm Jackson Vunganye. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voaafrica.com. We are also on Facebook, on Instagram, also on YouTube. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. Until next time, goodbye everyone.